Good morning, Jefferson Jets. It is Wednesday, March 13th, 2019. It is an A day, and we are into the third trimester and on day 121. Please stand for a Pledge of Allegiance, a moment of silence, and your Jefferson Jets pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the Jefferson Jets pledge. Jefferson Jets are respectful, safe, and kind. It is the Jefferson way to be our best every day. We are still celebrating our Women's History Month, and the person that we are going to learn about today did wonderful things, and she is a very, very widely known scientist who went to some pretty unique measures in order to hone her craft. So, I hope you enjoy.
Wow, Squeaks, I'm so glad you liked your present. Do you have a name for her yet? Oh, our friend Dino the cuckoo bird sent Squeaks this toy chimpanzee the other day. Chimps are a type of animal called a great ape, and they live in Africa. Dino said this stuffed animal was just so soft and cuddly that it reminded him of Squeaks, and he just had to get it for him. Hey, you know who else had a toy chimpanzee when she was little? A scientist named Jane Goodall. When she was just a baby, Jane's father bought her a toy chimpanzee named Jubilee. It was named after a real chimpanzee that lived in the London Zoo near where Jane lived. Even though some grown-ups worried that Jane would be afraid of the chimp, she loved it. And she loved being around any animal she could find. She dreamed about growing up to live among animals herself and writing books about them. When she was 26, Jane Goodall traveled to Gombe National Park in a part of Africa now called Tanzania to study chimpanzees. For a long time, the chimps ran away from Jane, but she was patient. She tracked the chimps through the forest and got as close as she could to them. She waited for the chimps to get used to her, which took years. But Jane showed up at the same time every day, giving out bananas and just trying to be friendly. Eventually, the chimps at Gombe trusted Jane and let her get close enough to study them. Humans and chimps are actually pretty similar. We're also a part of that group of animals called great apes, along with gorillas, orangutans, and bonobos. So learning about chimpanzees, their habits, how they react to diseases, and their relationships with each other can help us learn more about ourselves too. Jane Goodall learned about chimps in a way no one ever had before. She approached them with respect and empathy, an understanding of the feelings of others, other humans, and other animals. That's something you're good at too, Squeaks. You're always making sure your friends feel included and have fun when we play. Jane got to know the chimpanzees as individuals with unique personalities. She even gave them names like Frodo, Fifi, Goliath, and David Greybeard. Jane learned that chimps, with their different personalities, are a lot more like humans than we thought. They use lots of different kinds of touch, sounds, and signs to communicate or talk to each other, even if they don't use words like we do. And she discovered that just like humans, chimpanzees can show love for their friends and family, but sometimes get into fights. And they can show feelings too, like being happy or sad. Until Jane Goodall studied chimpanzees, everyone thought chimps were vegetarians, that they didn't eat meat. But as Jane found out, chimps sometimes hunt and eat other animals. So it turns out they're omnivores, meaning they eat plants and meat. But Jane Goodall made an even bigger discovery. She observed David Greybeard and the other chimps making tools. They changed a natural object like a twig to make it fit a purpose. In this case, kind of a combination fishing pole and spoon. They'd strip away the leaves, get the twig ready, stick it inside a termite mound, and pull it out covered with tasty termites. Yum. Well, tasty if you're a chimpanzee. Scientists used to think that humans were the only kind of animal that had ever used tools. Jane's discovery meant that the differences between humans and other animals weren't as clear as we thought. Jane's research was so exciting that soon other scientists were traveling to Gombe to learn her methods. But in the meantime, chimpanzees were becoming endangered. That means that soon there might not be any more of them left. Why not? Well, humans destroying the environment where the chimps live and taking chimps away from their homes are a big part of the reason. When chimpanzees became endangered, Jane Goodall wanted to do everything she could to save them. To do that, she had to leave Gombe, but some other researchers stayed and continued her work, which helped us learn even more about chimpanzees. The study that Jane Goodall started has been going on for 50 years. Meanwhile, Jane traveled the world, explaining to as many people as she could that to save the chimpanzees, we have to save the forest where they live. Jane Goodall's ability to communicate with people and animals by ignoring their differences and treating everyone as equals is one of her greatest talents. It's what makes her such a great spokesperson for endangered species and the environment. And Jane is still traveling and teaching, helping people be kinder to each other, to the environment, and to the animals she loves so much. What's that, Squeaks? You decide on what you want to name your chimp? What'd you pick? Aw, Jane sounds perfect. Good choice, Squeaks. Oh, great idea. Let's call Dino to thank him for the present. And you can tell him all about her name, too. Thanks for joining us. Do you have questions about chimpanzees or other animals or anything at all? Ask a grown-up to help you leave a comment.
All right. I hope you enjoyed that bit of information about Jane Goodall. I love the piece about empathy and hearing about how we can be more empathetic towards our fellow humans and animals that we share the environment with. We do have an update. There is a leadership meeting today in room 14 at 12:15. I would like to give a shout out to Miss Clark down here in the office. She does such a wonderful job. She's so welcoming, and she also knows why I want to give her a shout out, but that is between me and her. And then I would like to officially say hello to Miss Flynn. She will be here working with Art. So if you see her around the halls, make sure you tell her hello and give her a warm Jefferson welcome. And then finally, be great today, choose happy, and have a wonderful Wednesday.